It was early evening, the sky turning orange and the streets were quiet except for the soft hum of traffic. Just another peaceful day in the small town of Willow Creek. But then, something strange happened. Cars came to a stop. Drivers leaned out of their windows confused. In the middle of the road stood a muddy, scruffy dog. He wasn't barking or growling. He was just standing there, staring, with something clenched tightly in his jaw. A stained sneaker. Not just any sneaker. It was small, torn and smeared with something dark red, the kind of shoe a child might wear. A few people got out of their cars, unsure of what to make of it. Then someone recognized it. A woman gasped. "That looks like Tyler's, that missing boy." Someone called 911. When Officer Daniel Reyes arrived on the scene, the dog still hadn't moved. His fur was dirty and one of his ears was torn. He looked tired, but his eyes were sharp, focused. As soon as Daniel stepped closer, the dog let out a low, short bark, dropped the shoe, turned and began walking. Slowly at first, then a little faster. He limped but kept glancing back as if to say, "Come on, follow me." Daniel didn't wait. He radioed for backup and followed the dog. Others soon joined, 2 officers and a search team. The dog led them past the town's edge, through a broken fence behind an old lumberyard. The place was abandoned, forgotten by most. Shadows stretched across the cracked pavement. Every step felt heavier. The dog darted between rusted machinery and fallen boards. He paused often, checking to make sure the humans were still behind him. Then he stopped in front of a large shipping container, one of many. But this one had a heavy chain across its front. The dog began barking frantically, scratching at the metal, nose pressed against a crack near the bottom. Daniel raised his flashlight and stepped forward. The air around the container felt cold. He called out. No answer. Then again. A faint sound answered back. A muffled cry. They cut the chain in seconds. The door groaned as it opened, revealing darkness so thick it felt like fog. Then the light swept over the space inside and they saw him. Tyler, the missing 10-year-old boy, curled up in a corner, shivering. Duct tape on one wrist, dirt on his face, and tear tracks across his cheeks. But he was alive. The team rushed, and one officer wrapped him in a blanket. Another checked for injuries. Tyler looked up, dazed, and then passed them toward the entrance. "He found you," he whispered. "I saw him through the crack. I dropped my shoe." Back at the hospital, once Tyler was safe and resting, he told them everything. He had been walking home from school when someone in a van grabbed him. He couldn't see much. Just a man with a beard and gloves. He had been kept in the container for 2 days, given barely any food or water. He had screamed until his voice cracked. Then he noticed a crack at the bottom of the wall, just wide enough to squeeze something through. He remembered his mom saying, "If you're ever in trouble, don't stop trying." So he untied his shoe and pushed it out. And the dog had found it. Investigators later discovered that the shipping containers had once been owned by a man named Curtis Bale, a former truck driver with a record. He had gone missing the same day Tyler disappeared. His van was found burned in the woods 2 towns over. But the dog, no one knew where he had come from. No tag, no chip. Just scars and silence. He refused food from anyone except Tyler. He slept outside the hospital room door, only getting up when Tyler called. Animal control came. They said they needed to take the dog for observation. But Tyler begged. "Please," he cried. "He's my friend. He saved me." Daniel Reyes, who had followed that dog through the dying light of the day, stepped in. "Let the boy keep him," he said. "I think they've already saved each other." Tyler's parents agreed. They adopted the dog that very evening. He got a bath, a collar, and a name. Shadow. Because that's what he had been. Quiet, watchful, and always close behind when it mattered most. News of the rescue spread fast. Reporters came, people dropped off toys and treats. Photos of the boy and the dog were posted online, and soon everyone knew about the brave animal who refused to give up. But to those who were there, who saw it unfold, it was more than a story. It was a reminder. That sometimes help comes from the most forgotten corners of the world. That sometimes a creature with no voice, no name, and no reason to care chooses to care anyway. Not for praise, not for reward, but because it's the right thing to do. And so, while Tyler healed, and the town tried to make sense of it all, one thing was clear: Shadow was no longer a stray. He was home.